In this lesson, we'll configure a data protection policy that's going to mask IP addresses within our Nginx access logs that are sent to CloudWatch Logs. So after setting this up, we'll verify that masking is actually functioning properly, and we'll learn how authorized users can temporarily unmask protected data. So if you're not familiar, CloudWatch Logs data protection policies allow you to automatically detect and mask sensitive information before it even gets exposed to users viewing your logs. And in fact, you can see here that since I've pushed these logs, they've added this warning within my console. And so it's letting me know, hey, we detected that there might be some sensitive data. You might want to create something like this. So this is useful for meeting compliance and privacy requirements when your logs contain various types of data, anything from IP addresses to email addresses, any sort of credential you might have leaking in your logs, or just really any other type of sensitive data. For this demo, I do have an EC2 instance that I've connected to, and this is mimicking running Nginx and also mimicking real web traffic. If you're not already familiar, Nginx is a web server that you can use to serve web traffic. It's one of the most popular ones alongside Apache, so very commonly used. And logs will get generated when your users access or go through this web server, and you'll have an access log. So like I said, we're mimicking this. We've got logs at varlog nginx access.log. And if I cut those out, you can see that we have IP addresses that vary. We have different user agents, dates and times, the request type, the file requested, and so on. So this is mimicking a real access log, but we have our IP addresses that are visible in plain text. And if I go back to my CloudWatch dashboard and I click on this log group here, and we scroll down to the log stream, then we'll be able to see the exact same information that we had within the instance, including the entire IP address. So this is what we want to fix in this lesson. Now, to create CloudWatch Logs data protection policies, we can use pre-created rules that will detect this and mask the sensitive data automatically. To do that, we need to back out to the prior level, which is going to be our log group. And then under Actions, we can click on Create Data Protection Policy. You may see these error messages if you're in our lab environment. You can completely ignore that. They are not necessary for what we're doing. Instead, all we care about is the managed data identifiers. So if we open that up, you can see there are quite a few. Feel free to scroll through if you're interested, but all I care about here is going to be the IP address. So I'll select that. This is noteworthy here. We are able to add our custom data identifier if we want to, and if we don't have an AWS managed data identifier that we can just use out of the box. So we do have that option. We can also audit our findings by sending to another CloudWatch Logs group, Data Firehose, or Amazon S3, but we don't really care about that option for this lesson. So instead, we'll just click on Activate Data Protection. And that will apply at this log group level. However, keep in mind, you can create rules like this or policies like this that will apply account-wide. So if you want to have a blanket policy across all of your log groups, you would be able to do that as well. But in this case, we're doing it just for this specific log group. Now, with that enabled, also keep in mind that if I now go and scroll over this to my log stream, and I go back to my log stream, you'll notice that there's absolutely no difference. So it seems like it didn't work, but no, it did actually work. But this is a caveat with creating these policies. They're not retroactive. So they're not going to go through your prior logs and mask all that information. Instead, they're only going to mask going forward. So keep that in mind when you enable this. But back in our instance, let's go ahead and demonstrate that. I have a simple script here on this pre-created instance called generate Nginx traffic, and I'll just create 10 different entries. So it's added those entries in my log file. We can now see them in here. Again, to reiterate, we are still able to see our IP addresses within the instance itself. So it's not going to mask in the instance. It's only going to mask in CloudWatch. But now if I come back over here and I refresh our stream, now you'll notice that we have the prior IP addresses, and going forward, we have our masked IP addresses. If I expand it, same thing there, we're not able to view this. And so if you have, say, a support team member or even a security team member, whoever, system admin, doesn't matter. If they don't have the permissions to unmask this data, then there's no way for them to view that information from within CloudWatch Logs. They'd still be able to potentially log into the instance, but that's a totally different access control situation. We're talking about CloudWatch Logs groups here, so they would not be able to see it. If you want them to be able to see it, maybe you need a team lead or someone to be able to potentially see that information for other purposes. You can have them click on display. And as long as they have the proper permissions, which is going to be the logs unmask IAM policy, they can temporarily unmask protected data. So if they click on this, it will refresh this page. And now again, they can see those IP addresses and they can go back and mask protected data again. So this is a powerful way to reduce accidental data exposure while you're still actually preserving your full log fidelity. You're not losing any of that fidelity, especially for authorized users. And so if you ever see any question on the exam related to masking sensitive data within CloudWatch Logs specifically, then this is probably the feature that they're referring to. But with that, let's go ahead and complete this, and let's move on to the next lesson.